Emmerdale actress Isabel Hodgins has joyfully welcomed her first child. The star, widely recognised for playing Victoria Sugden on the ITV soap, revealed on Instagram today that she has given birth. She shared a heart-melting reel that opens with Isabel sitting on a birthing ball in a hospital room, before confirming that her baby daughter, Georgie Grace, arrived at 1:02 a.m. on February 11th. Isabel also posted an adorable black-and-white Polaroid photo showing her cuddling her newborn. Aaron Dingle actor Danny Miller commented, "Congratulations to you three, so pleased for you all," while Bradley Riches, who plays Lewis Barton, added, "Love you, XXX." Isabel, 32, is married to Adam Whitehead, and the couple announced her pregnancy in August last year. At the time, she told OK Magazine, with a laugh, that it was actually Adam, 28, who first realised she was pregnant. Isabel was a few days late, so she took a test, but then dropped it on the floor upside down, Adam explained. "I didn't want to check it, because staring would make the wait feel longer, but Mr. Impatient walked over, looked at it, and saw it was positive," Isabel joked. "I still wasn't convinced, thinking it being upside down might affect the result, so we ran to Boots and bought 3 more tests, and they were all positive too, so we knew it was true." Isabel's final scenes as Victoria Sugden aired on Emmerdale this week. The character, whom she has portrayed since 2006, decided to leave village life behind and begin a new chapter in Portugal with her son Harry and Diane Sugden. Although the choice was difficult, Victoria felt she had no alternative but to go. Earlier in 2026, Vic killed her brother John Sugden, and Joe Tate later secured video footage of her covering up his death, using it to blackmail her. Joe warned Vic and Robert Sugden that unless they handed over the Sugden farmland, he would report the truth about John's death to the police. Despite their attempts to find another solution, Vic eventually accepted that a Tate had once again come out on top. Believing the village held too many painful memories, she shared an emotional farewell with Robert, while promising she would one day return. Emmerdale viewers believe Bear's departure has been sealed following his confession, leaving many devastated. Fans of the ITV soap are feeling emotional after Beowulf admitted the truth, as rumours swirl that Joshua Richards could be leaving the show. Some loyal viewers suspect Bear may soon be released from prison in an unexpected twist. The character has endured an incredibly traumatic year on screen. Last year, he left the village claiming he was heading to Ireland to reconnect with old friends. However, after weeks without contact, his son Paddy became increasingly worried when he failed to hear from him. It was later revealed that Bear had been held captive on a farm under the control of ruthless criminals Celia Daniels and Ray Walters. Their cruel and illegal scheme was eventually exposed, although Ray killed Celia in a desperate attempt to free himself from her control. Ray later lost his own life when Bear, previously presumed dead, suddenly appeared to protect Paddy, placing Ray in a chokehold that ended in his death. Since then, Paddy has been trying desperately to protect his father from the police and keep him out of prison. But Friday's dramatic episode brought a major turning point. During the installment, an emotionally fragile Bear met with a counsellor. Although he initially tried to keep quiet about what happened, he eventually broke down and confessed to killing Ray. Paddy was left shattered when DS Walsh arrived to arrest Bear, leading him away in handcuffs after his admission. In a panic, Paddy rushed to the police car and assured his dad everything would be all right just before it drove off. Fans are now convinced this storyline could end with Bear exiting the show for a prison stint. One viewer asked on a Facebook fan page whether his confession meant he was leaving. Another replied that it seemed likely and said it would be heartbreaking to see him go. A third described the episode as deeply emotional. Upcoming spoilers reveal that during questioning, Bear tells DS Walsh he is responsible for Ray's death. The detective presses him for details, but Bear struggles to recall exactly what happened, insisting he acted alone and didn't intend to kill Ray. Marlon rushes to support a guilt-ridden Paddy at the police station. Meanwhile, DS Walsh picks up on inconsistencies in Bear's account, though Bear continues to claim he was solely responsible. A distraught Paddy later breaks down at home, fearing he, Bear and Dylan could all end up behind bars. Marlon tries to reassure him, suggesting the incident may be ruled self-defense. The next day, Bear faces further questioning about conflicting statements, while Paddy repeatedly interrupts to defend him. This causes DS Walsh to question whether Paddy was involved. Tensions rise when officers doubt Bear's claim that he moved Ray's body by himself. Matters worsen when DC Chen summons Paddy and Dylan for interviews. Bear is eventually charged with manslaughter, though his solicitor reminds Paddy that he acted to protect himself. This gives Paddy hope that bail could be granted. However, when lawyers advise Bear to consider his plea carefully, he insists on pleading guilty, determined to do what he believes is the right thing. Emmerdale has finally revealed April Windsor's fate on ITVX following her concerning disappearance. Tonight's episode wraps up two lingering threads from April's dark and distressing storyline, ending weeks of uncertainty about what would happen to her. The troubled teenager has been terrified she could face serious legal trouble after admitting to crimes she was forced into by Ray Walters and Celia Daniels. Earlier this year, April bravely gave a full statement to the police, recounting the traumatic experiences she and Dylan Penders endured while being manipulated and exploited by Ray and Celia. At the time, officers couldn't confirm whether charges would be brought against April or Dylan, raising fears they might be sent to young offenders' institutions. In this evening's installment, DS Walsh visits April with two major updates regarding the ongoing investigation. Firstly, Walsh confirms that dangerous predator Callum Swift is finally being held accountable. Viewers will remember Callum from a disturbing episode last year, when he attempted to sexually assault April while she was being exploited by Ray, who had arranged for her to meet inappropriate clients. "We've now officially charged Mr. Swift with multiple offences," Walsh explains. "It's taken time, but we got there. We understand he intends to plead guilty." Addressing April's own circumstances, Walsh reassures her, "The investigation into Ray Walters' death is still ongoing, but you are not being treated as a suspect in relation to the drug offences or Callum Swift. The police and the CPS recognise that you were a victim. Thanks to the statements given by you and Dylan about the wider criminal network and those involved, we've been able to rescue girls who were being held in a flat in Leeds. Several men are currently being arrested on suspicion of drug trafficking and sexual assault." Walsh's news sets the stage for a special episode airing tomorrow that will centre entirely on April, Dylan, and Bear Wolf. As the trio struggle to process everything they've been through at the hands of Ray and Celia, a deeply traumatised April opens up to her stepmother, Rona Goskirk, admitting she still feels she deserves punishment for her role in dealing drugs. The question remains whether Rona can convince April that she was manipulated and victimised, rather than to blame. Emmerdale airs on weekday evenings at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX.